1968 was International Human Rights Year, although that may seem difficult to believe in the light of all that's happened. In fact, many people over the last 12 months have been fighting not so much for their rights, but for their very existence. This was obvious in how the year began in Vietnam. The Communists began the Tet Offensive in the north and hit other cities in the south. Hue, Khe Sanh, and even Saigon were turned into battlefields. The National Liberation Front announced it as the long-awaited offensive that would finally topple the Saigon regime, and for a moment it looked as though they may be right. In North Vietnam, the American bombing entered its third year. In March came the first real glimmer of hope.
Tonight, I renew the offer I made last August to stop the bombardment of North Vietnam. We ask that talks begin promptly, that they be serious talks on the substance of peace. We assume that during those talks, Hanoi will not take advantage of our restraint. We are prepared to move immediately toward peace through negotiations.
The North Vietnamese had always insisted on an unconditional halt to the bombing, but they were as weary of this war as the Americans when they came to Paris in May to talk peace. The American initiative to end the war continued throughout the year. The bombing of the North was halted completely in October. After 7 months of negotiating, the Paris talks were expanded to include a delegation from the NLF headed by Madame Binh. After some hesitation, Vice President Key arrived to lead the South Vietnamese team. Though the fighting is far from over, the talks have begun. As the year ended, it looked as if the question was not if the Americans would pull out of Vietnam, but when and how.